Jennifer Holler of Seattle is proud to be the first American to ever get a potential COVID-19 vaccine.
You're looking for ways to help.
In March, she received a low dose of a vaccine developed by the National Institutes of Health and biotech company Moderna. She, like other volunteers, applied for the study online.
A friend of mine posted on Facebook that Kaiser was starting to enroll participants in the vaccine trial, and I thought, well, let's give this a shot. Let's see if there's something that I can do here.
A Newsy poll found 69% of those surveyed would be interested in an FDA-approved coronavirus vaccine. But before getting to that point, many people volunteer for the trial phases. Seattle vaccine tester Neil Browning got an email from a friend.
I just got notified that my healthcare provider, Kaiser Permanente, is offering this registration to see if people are interested in doing the vaccine study for it. Are you interested? I can forward you the email. And so I said, yeah, absolutely.
Volunteers usually get minimal compensation, maybe a few $100. Risks are explained ahead of testing, including in multiple questionnaires and consent forms, and an hour-long face-to-face conversation, researcher Sharon Riddler says.
Yeah, I think it's a lot more regulated, not in a bad way, but there's a lot more oversight than people maybe appreciate.
Riddler is leading a clinical testing site for the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine at the University of Pittsburgh. That vaccine is set to begin its own large-scale phase 3 clinical trial in August. Riddler says it's not as simple as giving thousands of people shots the day the study starts. Clinics take time to become activated for a specific study by the FDA and NIH. So, for example, she says while the clinicians at the University of Pittsburgh know they'll need 750 participants, they don't have every volunteer yet.
Each site is coming on board over a period of a few weeks, and then the enrollment will really ramp up over that period of time to the maximum possible with all the sites activated. The regulatory mechanisms, the oversight mechanisms, those are all things that are common across to all clinical trials, really.
In early July, the NIH developed the COVID-19 Prevention Trials Network, or CoVPN, as a central way to organize people interested in being part of a vaccine study. Who is an important factor in these patient pools as well. HHS Assistant Secretary for Health, Admiral Brett Giroir, told Newsy that researchers also want to examine possible side effects, especially in populations more at risk.
It's very important to have the numbers, but it's very important to have diversity. We want young people, we want elderly people. Very importantly, we want to make sure we have enough women and minorities, racial and ethnic minorities, because vaccines could work differently, better or worse, in different subgroups.
Thousands more volunteers will be needed for other COVID-19 vaccines in the race. Johnson & Johnson is looking toward its own 30,000 patient trial in September and Novavax in October. The goal with all of these studies is to see if significantly fewer vaccinated people contract COVID-19. White House Coronavirus Task Force Coordinator Dr. Deborah Birx tells Newsy ethics panels are already trying to determine who will be the first to get the vaccine once it's approved for widespread use.
Traditionally, they've based it on who is most susceptible to illness, and that has always been our first responders, and then who does particularly poorly.
The White House expects a vaccine by the end of this year, but drug makers say early 2021 is more likely. Lindsay Thies, Newsy, Denver.